Hey guys, Linda Bomba here. How's everybody doing tonight? I see people piling in, so it's 8 o'clock, and I know others of us have another commitment in an hour, so I'll get going with this. For anybody who doesn't know me, my name is Linda Bomba, and I'm an entrepreneur and a home-based business owner. And I'm doing this webinar tonight. If you've been on Facebook the last week or 10 days, you know that they're going to be banning the use of automated tools to post in the Facebook group, and that's going to affect an awful lot of people. If you go into the groups at all, you know how much time people are spending and posting using an automated tool. So what I'm going to show you tonight is how to get leads off of Facebook and not use the groups. So I'm going to go over and do a screen share. If you can't hear me or you can't see me when I pull my Facebook page up, if somebody can put something into, I won't be able to see the chat. If you put something in the Q&A, I can see it. So I just want to make sure everybody can see my Facebook page. What's going on? Can you guys see my Facebook page? Okay, I'm hoping everybody can see this because nobody's saying anything. I am on my Facebook page. Okay. All right, I'm on my Facebook page, and there's a number of things you can do without going over. Let me go over to, I don't know, there's thousands and thousands of groups, which I don't teach people how to spam your links in the groups, which is that's all I did when I started. But one of the things you can do is if you come over here to your left-hand side, right underneath, depending on your order, where you have messages, if you click events, you can create an event. And I've done this with a lot of things. I've taken a free training. I've taken a webinar that I wanted to promote and gotten a bunch of leads off of this. But if you hit it on public, and if I put on here, just say how to generate leads, and then if I can put a registration link in here. I don't put anything with the place. You put the date here, and we'll use today's date, and I'll do 8 o'clock, well, 8:15, since we're close to that time. What I do is I click this end time, and you can set one of these up for 90 days. And if you set it on public, people can still see it. So even after the time that you do it, I leave these up and I still get leads off of it. But you go ahead and create the event. I usually add some sort of an image And you'll see on this right-hand side, your friends will pop up. If I click this and choose friends, there is a limit on this to 500 people that you can invite to one event. If I click all my friends, this will put it in an alphabetical order. I usually go down and I'll start clicking people to invite it. And you can see they come up over here on the side. Unfortunately, this is a manual job when you go through and do this. And you'll get stopped at 500. I usually, when I do these, I have more than 500. So what I do is I set up more than one event. So if you've got 1,500 people you want to invite, you're going to have to do it 3 times to get the 500 on each one. And then you just send the invitations. And you can see over here, I just invited 8 people, but that'll come up on the side. You can come over here and do it too, and choose more friends and go down this manually and do it if you want to do it that way. I think it's easier the other way, but you can figure that out. There is an app you can get that's free. It's a Google app. You can Google it. If you have Chrome, Google Chrome, you have to have it there. You can do one button. It'll invite all your friends. It'll just pick 500. I don't like to do that because I've had my Facebook my personal profile since 2009, and I've got a couple hundred people there that I went to school with and stuff. And I try not to, unless I accidentally invite one of them. I don't like inviting them because, well, I think a lot of them don't understand what I'm doing. So if you have family and friends, and I think most of us do, that's an easier way to avoid it. And here you can see it'll show up in your news feed after you create the event, because I did set this to go to public. But doing an event, that's one way to generate leads and not use the groups. Another thing I do is when you're posting things on your timeline, I usually post once or twice a day. I'm putting people to my branded domain name, and they go right to my newsletter. And depending on what it is, I can get, like Monday when I posted something about this in the groups, it was crazy. I got like 15 leads off of that, just from that one post on my timeline. So depending on what you're posting on your timeline, you can get leads that way too. And I don't put a lot of offers on my personal page. I usually am doing a webinar or something that's value, a free training. Another thing you can do on your personal page, if you go over to your left-hand side, there's this little notes. If you click this, I have a bunch of these, and I've put different things up here that I'm doing. Like this one's just for my newsletter. But if you click add a note, you put your title in, you can put the body in of however you want to put in here. Even if it's a webinar, you can do this, put your information on this. You can add an image if you want, or photo. And then what I like to do down here is you can put some tags, which if people are searching, you'll make it easier to find. And then you can preview it before you post it. This one didn't go because I don't want to put it. But what happens is initially the note will appear as your next. Let me go back to my timeline. The note will appear on your first status. And then as you go on and you're posting other things to your timeline, what Facebook does is it saves it. And they'll all stay. And I like to do this for something I'd like to keep on it. You can see down here, it'll keep it here. It'll save it for you. And it'll stay down the side there. But I know I have a lot of people that if they're coming and they're checking you out, they're gonna go and start looking at that and start looking at what you posted. So if you're giving away a free training or something with a capture page, they're gonna opt in. So that's another thing you can do on your timeline. And you can do this also on your fan page. There is a place on let me go over to my fan page for a second. There's also a place here, if you click on this, for notes. on your fan page that you can do the same thing. The difference really with your fan page and your personal page is you're not going to be on your fan page, you cannot interact with the groups. So if you belong to a group, even if it's not that you're going into the post there, if it's a group that's involved with the program that you have or something else like that, that's the drawback with your fan page. I mean, there are some different things. I mean, if you do eventually want to learn and do some paid advertising, you have to do that off your fan page. You can't do that on your profile. So it's definitely one of the drawbacks. And the groups are completely out. The events are on both pages, and you can see here when you get down the side, this is your ads manager. If you are doing any kind of paid advertising on Facebook, you want to access it actually really more off your fan page, and you need Chrome. If you're going to do any kind of paid ads, it's a lot harder. You're not going to be able to do a lot of things on your personal profile with paid ads, just because the way Facebook has it set up. So that's another thing you can do. One of the things that I do, and I do this, this is something actually that's really cool that I do. I do this every day. I do it a couple times a day, and I might only spend 5 to 10 minutes each time I'm doing it every day. But when you start doing it over a period of time is where you'll start to see things come up. But I'm going to go to, this is Eric Worre's page. You want to pick somebody, and Eric's probably the biggest, has the most amount of followers in our space. You can see here, he's got over 661,000 likes on his page. I frequent his page a lot because he's just got so much going on here. This one post that he just did today, it's got over 3,000 people who have liked it. And then he's got 46 more comments on this. One of the things I do is I'll come over to his page, I'll click on this, and all the people who have liked this, they're going to come up when you do that. And you can see a lot of these I'm already friends with. But what I'm looking for here is people that I'm not friends with that I have mutual friends with. These people that I don't have mutual friends with, I'm just going to go by them. And I scroll down this, and Eric's this isn't the only page I do it. You want to look at your niche and see who some of the big players are and find their fan pages and come over and do this. Eric is pretty much, since he is the biggest name in this space, and he's just got more going on here than anybody, but she has a mutual friend. I'm going to hover over her name, and you can see her profile comes up. She's got her follow button showing. I'm going to click it. And what that does is she gets a message that I followed her. And I'll go through and I'll say in a day, if I do this in the morning, afternoon, I'll do about 30. I'll go find 30 people, 35, 30 people I can follow. And I'll just keep going through his thing here. And anybody I'm not following that I've got mutual friends with, I'll click their follow button. There is a limit on Facebook. You can't follow any more than 5,000 people. Just like you can only have 5,000 friends. And I'll show you what I end up doing, because if you do the math on this, if I'm doing 30 people a day in a month, that's 900. In 6 months, less than 6 months, I'll be over 5,000. Once you hit 5,000, you'll get a message from Facebook saying, you can't follow anybody else. You have to unfollow some people. So if you're doing this for any length of time, and I have been, I'll show you what I do, because unfortunately, I really kind of wish that Facebook didn't give the limit, because you don't have, you can't keep a way of doing this, knowing who you followed, who you didn't follow, who you may have unfollowed to make up some more space. It's just too many people. And if you think about it, if you do 4,500 to 5,000 in 6 months, and now some people I will go through, I will remember at one point that I did follow them. Not everybody's going to respond to me. If I do 30 in a day, maybe one will come back and check me out. And lately what I've been having, which is really kind of cool, I'll have somebody come over, they check me out, And then they come and they message me and they'll say, I noticed you followed me. And I got one guy that was really freaking out about it. Like, why are you following me? Why are you following me? And what I've been saying to people is, well, I said, if you hang around me long enough, you'll see why. And they get kind of intrigued with that because they don't understand why I'm following them. And there may be some people, some of the names I saw that registered for this webinar tonight. This is how you and I have connected, is because I followed you and we started talking. And the conversation, when they do message me, it just really kind of goes into a natural progression, which is really kind of cool. And then they start, seeing something on your profile, if you have kids or dogs or cats or something, they start asking you or where you live. And it's really, and you can't just do this a couple of times and then expect that to happen. I mean, I've been actually at this for a while, so it's kind of just, it's part of my routine when me doing this. And I might do 10 minutes in the morning and then 10 minutes maybe in the afternoon and then at night, and just maybe spend no more than 30 minutes a day doing this. And it's really kind of easy, but you're really basically activating people to you. And if some people, they've never really had anybody follow them. And if you check out some people's profiles, they've got a handful of people following them. They're really totally intrigued with it. And there's a lot of people, I'm still amazed that they don't have, like this guy, he does not have his settings on his profile page set for that. And I'm going to show you how to do that, because if you haven't done that on your own page, you're really missing out on the opportunity to connect with people if you don't have your follow button exposed. Because these people, I'm just going by them. She does have a mutual friend, but she doesn't have her follow button showing. So she obviously doesn't know about that, but I'm still amazed at how many people don't know that. And there's these people, they know about Eric Worre. You don't know how active they are, if they're posting every day on Facebook or they're just kind of in and out. But this is all you really have to do, is just go through a thread like this. And I'll go to somebody else's page in the space, right here then. And if you go over to his profile, this is his fan page. He's got over 100,000 likes. He doesn't have quite as much going on as Eric, but he does have quite a bit. This is another post that he's got. He's got 143 people who have liked this. And it's basically, you're just doing the same thing, going through looking for people. You only want to do this with people you have mutual friends with. And this thread and this list is a lot less than the one on Eric's page. You can see when you're going down that you're going to find there's a lot of people that you don't have mutual friends with. So you just want to kind of pass them. And then the people, they just don't have their follow button showing on their page. Now I kind of like, now this person, I'm not going to do he doesn't have his profile picture up. So, and I've gotten more, I guess I've gotten pickier, because if people really are working and doing business off their page, they're going to have a profile picture of themselves. The more you do this, you will see there's people, they don't have a good picture of themselves up. They may have a logo in their profile, like this person has someplace either she lives or she's been. And if you really want to brand yourself, so if you don't have a good picture, and a lot of these people, they don't, those kind of people, I'm more or less, especially when there's nothing there. It could be a fake profile, and there's a lot of fake profiles on Facebook. So that you just pick a few people in your niche or leaders that you know of in this industry and go over to their page. I will show you, if you don't on your own profile have your follow button exposed, you want to do that. If you come over here, come down to your settings, if you look over here, there's a number of different things. You want to come over here to followers, and you have some choices here. And there's one here that says, who can follow me? Followers see your post in the newsfeed. Friends follow your post by default, but you can also allow people who are not your friends to follow your post. Use this setting to choose who can follow you. Each time you post, you choose which audience you want to share with. And if you click on this, you have a choice between everybody and just your friends. You want to put it on everybody. If you leave it just to your friends, how many ever friends you have, they're the only people that are going to see your post. And then you leave on your front page. Mine is exposed, but this is how I see my page. You want to leave your follow button exposed, so you get that exposure for yourself, and you get people and there's other people doing what I just showed you. That there's plenty of them, that there people are going to go through, and you're going to like something or comment on somebody's post, and they're going to see your follow button. And the other piece of this is too, if we go back to Eric's page, and you can do this just not on people's fan pages, you can do it on their personal profiles. But and you should be going, the other thing I do is, and I'll show you this too, I go through my news feed and look at who's posting on what. But this is, if this was coming through my news feed, Eric did this yesterday. It's got over 400 people who have liked it, and then there's people commenting on it. But you want to look for, even in your news feed, and depending on who you're connected with, if you start looking through your news feed and see what kind of posts are coming through, where you see that there's something that's got a lot of likes and a lot of comments on it, that there's something you feel you can post on, because you can talk to people that are actually in the thread, or just get yourself kind of out there and notice more of what people are talking about and make a comment on it. And it's another way to people that are going to see you posting stuff. Now, this guy, I don't know if you know Joe Stewart, but he's got a lot of stuff going on his personal page. You can see this particular one. The video itself got 333 views, and this has 95 people commenting on it. And you can go down the thread. You can look at what he posts. He's just saying, can't we all just get along? And then he did a video. And if you start looking at what people are commenting on here, this is one of his less, should I say, less commented posts. He had one, let me show you one actually yesterday that I just couldn't get over the number of stuff he had. He put a post on here about, here it is, just deleted 700 people to make room for new cool folks. If you made the cut, you're awesome. He's got 622 people that have commented on this. And yesterday I put something on here. But if you just go through and just look at some of these comments on here, and people are putting pictures. I mean, this guy's got like so much activity going on his thing. Now, this guy wrote, and I don't know this guy, Phil, but I am following him. He put this little thing with, actually, I think it says 504 Facebook, and that's the Mr. Clean thing. So actually what you can do is, you can like it. And if you go down to the bottom of this, since I followed him, I'm going to just I'll show you what one of the things you can do. That I'm going to go down to the bottom of this thread. And if I make a comment just like to him, I can tag him on this. If you put a little, since him and I were not friends, if I put the little A sign at it and then put on it, you can see his name is coming up, and put nice and neat. And I'm just going to say, ha ha. It's going to tag him on it. Now, he may whether he responds to that or not, but he's going to notice that. And you can do, and there's tons of other posts. I mean, like this guy's stuff is just crazy, that you can do things like that and just kind of go through. And if there's something you feel you can post on to make a comment, or there's somebody on here in this thread that you want to get their attention. If you tag them like that and just do something like that, he will be tagged. He will get a message that you tagged him. And then I'll see whether he comes over or not. I posted something yesterday, and actually it's God knows where it is in this thread now. But Joe did respond to me. But I mean, you can see this thread is still going on. But these are the kind of threads, and you can find these in your news feed. That yesterday when I saw that was coming through my news feed. But those are the kinds of posts you want to look for that are coming through your news feed. Now and I know Renee. See now here he goes. Now Joe's commenting on the one that I just did. So that's, I mean, that's what you can, and then people, I've done that, and I've had people come over, depending on what it was, and had a bunch of people come over and start, checking me out or sending me a friend request or following me because of that. Now this is I know Renee, I know, well, she's got her house up on the market. She put this, and she's got 102 comments, and I'm just going to put, make a comment to her, haha. Renee is Canadian. And I know when she sees that, she'll make a comment, but those are just the tagging, and you don't want to get too crazy with the tagging because, and if you do it right, you won't get in trouble because Facebook will kind of notice something being irregular, that you're doing it too much, and you don't want to get in trouble with Facebook. And that's, I mean, this thing with them banning the automatic post. I mean, there's people who just go back and forth and just post, and eventually Facebook picks up on that, and then they want to come back and say, they're going to block you because Facebook was never, especially our personal profiles, was never set up to do business. And there's people all the time on Facebook doing business, and they just want you to get out of that. That's why they took they used to be able to do a paid promoted post on your profile, because they're just moving away from it. And I think that's one of the reasons why they're stopping the automatic posting. Because if you go over to, I belong to a lot of them, but if you just go to these groups, it's just ridiculous, the number of people. And I know when I first started, I just didn't know any better. And that was one of the first things that people taught me was, you can go paste in the groups. And there's just so many people that, there are better ways of getting leads off of Facebook. And if you go through some of these, this is an automatic poster. There's just so many people that they're posting. That's an automatic poster. They're using this automatic feature on here, and they just set them, and if she's using one, they just set them and they're letting it go. So let me show you. I'll check my friend request too. Now this guy, I'll go and look and see. Now he just sent me a friend request. I don't know who he is. I didn't follow him. So I usually, when I don't know somebody and I'm not following them, I'll delete it. And that was the request that came up here. And then the other thing you can do, oops, let's go back here. If you know somebody, usually when I get a friend request and it's somebody I followed, I'll accept it, and then I'll go put a message on their timeline, just to say thanks for the follow, or nice to connect. But one of the things when you're meeting people, and other than you can go through and I do that too, go through your newsfeed. But I happen to be, this is a group actually that I'm the admin of. And actually, believe it or not, now this group, I never thought it would get this big. It's grown to, excuse me, over 45,000 people. And I started this group, I guess it was about 2 years ago, and never had any realization it would get this big. And most of the people, I mean, I have my stuff pinned at the top, but I'll go through the new people. I'm actually on average getting 100 requests a day or more for people to join this group. But I'll go through this and kind of see who's asked to join out. Like, I'll go check this guy out. This is really, and this is totally coincidental. This guy lives in a town 5 minutes from me in Pennsylvania. And actually where he's from is about 5 minutes from where I grew up. Okay. Now, normally, because this guy hasn't posted, it was April 11th and what today is the 16th, I probably wouldn't say anything or message him. But because he went to the high school that I didn't go to that high school, but it's like in the town next to mine. When I was playing sports in school, we played this team. So I am going, just because of the coincidence that this guy lives like so close to me, I'll follow him. And when you do send a message to somebody, if you hit the follow, you're not going to that's not going to raise a red flag with Facebook. So if you're sending some, you don't want to send a whole lot of messages out to people, but that's kind of, Facebook won't look at you like that. That's funny. So I'm just going to pull this up and say, hi, Michael. And I'll say, and I'll usually, since this is my group, if I saw this in my newsfeed, I would just say, I saw your profile in my newsfeed. But since he's asking to join my group, I'll just say, welcome him to the group. I mean, you can start your own group if you want. This group now, I got to tell you, it is consuming my time because there's a lot of junk in there, and I won't even give you any examples of some of the junk people put in there. But that's gotten to be. I just never thought the group would get as big as it has. But this is one thing that I can do because I'm the admin, and I'll say, I see you live in Wallingford. I live 5 minutes from you in Glen Mills. And I'll just say, such a small world. And I'll just leave, I'll just leave a message like that and send it to him. I'll see if he answers me. Since we aren't friends, you do have 2 message boxes on Facebook. One, your main one where he's coming out of my box. This is where if you know me and you're friends with me, if you leave me a message, I'll come here. But you've got this other box that, and I get some really weird ones in here, that if we're not connected in any way, it'll go to your other box. So I know some people don't know that, but you do want to be checking both boxes because if somebody's trying to connect with you. So if you do that, that message I sent him, it'll go to his other box. Now, whether he's online a lot, he may get that quickly. I've had people message me back 6 months later, but that's another way to connect with people. I know there's some people, they feel a little uncomfortable sending messages to people they don't know. But if you're not friends with somebody, you're not going to be able to go write something on their timeline. That's definitely a drawback. If you follow somebody, you can't write on their timeline. So if you do want to message them, you do have to go the route of the message. That's really your only choice. If there's another way, I haven't figured it out. If anybody's got another way that they know of. So actually, this is, I don't know if you guys know this guy. This guy's name is Nick. He was born with no arms and no legs. This is him and his baby. I think it's his son. Yeah, this guy is such an inspiration. If you don't know him, he's got a bunch of YouTube videos, but usually anything that somebody's posting on, it's got 1 million likes. If you find his Facebook page, he's up there with, well, he's got millions, but the guy's amazing. Anyway, let me go back. You want to be looking through your news feed every day, looking for, and if there's somebody that you've liked something, and you start noticing that they're coming through your news feed, and there's an opportunity, there's somebody that you want to talk to more, or that they connected with you. This is a chance, because if they're active, you're going to see their stuff coming through your news feed. And if there's an opportunity to like people, comment on it, you want to do it. Let me show you one more thing that I do. And I do this every day routinely. On your side here, your friends, now I don't have anything coming up because I did it this morning, but if somebody's birthday, it's going to come up somewhere around here. So it'll be it looks like a little birthday cake, and it'll say your friends' birthdays. And what I normally do, I always go and I'll wish the person, if I know the person and I'm friends with them, I'll wish them a happy birthday. If somebody comes up and I don't really know the person, it's a good way to keep your, I really had a lot of people when I first came online. I was such a spammer, I admit it. I would just go send friends requests out just to, I thought if I had 4,000 friends, that would just be so much better. And really, it's not the number of friends you have, it's the number of people that you know. And I had all these people coming up over here it was their birthdays, and I didn't know them. So I started, and I learned this from Diane Hockman. I'd start going through them. I think, okay, I don't know them, and I just would unfriend them. And it's a good way. I do it every day. And it's somewhere over here will come up. It looks like a little birthday cake, but it's a good way just to kind of keep in check with the friends that you have. And that I get friends requests now. I've gotten so picky. If I don't know the person, I won't take it. I won't accept it. But that's just some of the things you can do to generate leads and connect. The one thing I would encourage you to do is when you're posting, I usually post on my timeline here, and I do go over to my fan page, which there's a couple things you can do here. If you're not, and I'd encourage you, if you're not, if you're doing video, you want to, right now, Facebook is paying a ton. I've gotten leads off of this. They're paying so much more attention to video. I cut a video every day, and what I've been doing is, and I've been doing this probably for about 4 months now, I'm loading, this is the one I did this about an hour ago. You want to upload your videos to Facebook on your fan page. If you don't have a fan page, you can get one, set one up. I actually have a video, ask me to set one up. It's relatively easy. They're paying so much more attention to videos. You have a little category over here. This is, and you can feature a video, which I featured this webinar tonight on this page, and I get leads off of this stuff. There's a playlist you can set up, but these are just all the videos I've been loading. Once I get them up on YouTube, I've been loading them up over here. If you're not doing that, you want to, because people come over, they see the video. I'm directing most people, not this video because it was a registration. I'm directing people all to my newsletter. So if you're not doing that on your fan page and you're doing video, you want to put them up over here. You're going to get not just the exposure on YouTube, you'll get the exposure and you'll get leads off of it, off these videos on your fan page. This doesn't cost anything, but you can, now I just did this about an hour ago. If I wanted to, there's a thing over here. You can pin a post to the top of your page, and this will stay up here and for 7 days, no matter what else anybody puts or you put on your page, and then it'll eventually start to drop down. But if you have something that you want to get more exposure, maybe get some leads off of it, you can pin a post like this to the top of your fan page. You can do that in a group that you're an admin, but that's one of the ways you can do with your fan page. There's also videos, and you can also do a note on your fan page. You can push out, if you're using Aweber, there's an app, you can push out your, I've gotten leads off of this too. You can push out when you send an email out and have it post. I do mine and they come out on my fan page every day. There's an app, it's easy to do. And I'm pretty sure I have a video of that. If you don't know how to do it, ask me, I can get you the video I did. But your fan page, the other thing, you need to set up a funnel. If you're doing this on Facebook, because if you're getting the leads, you want to send some people to a funnel. And one of the things I'm able to do with the funnel, I want to show you this funnel in a second, is I've set up apps. And this is one. This goes to my Aweber account. And people come in, they opt in. That's a lead. These are really easy to do. Another thing, I have some apps set up, and this is the funnel I'm going to show you, that and people just opt in and I get leads off of this. I'm going to go to my account here. I'm going to show you, if you're going to be getting leads off of Facebook, if you don't have some place to put them, you need to drive them to some sort of a capture page. And this is a marketing system I use that we can set up you can set up any really kind of funnel you want. And you can set ones up for your MLM, anything you're doing. Let me just show you one that I have, because these are some really cool funnels that you can make. And it's really, you could set one of these up in a few minutes after you learn how to do it. This is one funnel I set up. I can put it anywhere, not just Facebook, and drive leads to it. If I put a post on my Facebook page, I have one similar to this, that I have a branded domain that I use, and it's for my newsletter. On Monday, I made a post on my personal profile, just a status update about all the stuff going on with Facebook, and then cutting off that you're not going to be able to use an automated tool. And I got like 15 leads off of it. So if you don't have a way to set up a capture page like this and send people to it, I'll show you how you can get that. And the other thing that I have, that once you're getting the leads, you need to be communicating with them and following up. You definitely, if you don't have an autoresponder, you need one. But I have what's called a CRM, which is a client relationship manager. And I'm able to do with you can see these are the leads I've gotten today. What I do is I go through my this client relationship manager, and I haven't done this yet today, so I'll show you what I do. I'm going to send an email out to this guy. And when I pull this up, there's a bunch of different plates. They give you, these are all pre-done. I've personalized some of mine depending on what I'm doing. And if I meet somebody on Facebook and I get their email, I'll set up, I have this one for Facebook. I'll put the person's name in, and you can send them an email directly out of this. It defaults to you pick an email account. I use a Comcast account that I have, and you send emails out to people this way, and then you just push the email out and it goes out through my Comcast account. And then you get this message that comes up. It says log email, which it'll log it in let me show you my dashboard again. It'll come back up and log it under my prospects. And there's all kinds of things that you can do with this. I make notes to myself when I've called people. You can create a task to remind yourself to do something. You can star rate people if you want to categorize them in your MLM and all that. But it's another way. You should be in your autoresponder following up with people with follow-up letters. So let me come back out and see if anybody's got any questions. If you have questions, you can put them in the chat, or let me see, I can open up the Q&A. if anybody has, if you have questions, if you want to put them in the Q&A, or you can put them in the chat, whatever's easier, I'll answer your questions. I am tonight, for anybody that came on the webinar, the funnels I was showing you, I'll give you that, I'll put that in the chat for you, that you can get an account. It's My Lead System Pro is the marketing system I use, that I make those funnels and the capture pages and the CRM I showed you. For anybody that wants to sign up with that tonight, I am offering, I'll give you a bonus of a coaching session with me to get you set up. For anybody tonight that signs up, I'll leave the offer good till midnight for anybody, because since you guys all came to the webinar tonight, and I'm hoping that for those of you that you've been using the groups, I mean, I don't teach people to do that. I was guilty of that myself for a really long time. You want to brand yourself as a leader. I mean, I think it's a good idea that Facebook's doing it. It's going to force people to stop posting in the groups like that. I mean, there are better ways to get leads. And if you don't have a big marketing budget, you can start with doing things for free on Facebook. And there's you can take Facebook to a whole other level. There's plenty of paid strategies too. So I'm gonna put this in the chat for anybody that wants to do this. And MLSP is a great marketing system. It'll teach you any strategy you want to learn. You should pick a marketing strategy. I assume that for you guys that are on here tonight, you are using Facebook, that you want to learn Facebook. And Facebook is there's a billion, you're reaching 1 billion people. So Facebook is the way you want to go. But if you're doing the groups, I'm afraid you're going to have to give that up. So let me make sure that does anybody else has any questions you want to ask me before because I know other people, you have things you want to go to. I'll just put this in the chat. Any questions? If you have a question and it didn't get through, or I don't see anything in the chat and I don't see anything in Q&A, feel free to connect with me and ask me on Facebook. All right, well, thanks everybody for coming. I'm gonna sign off. I don't see any questions. I hope you found this helpful. And if you do have questions, connect with me on Facebook, and I will see you guys later.